What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. In today's video, we're jumping into DC vs. Vampires World War V. This will be issues number 4 and 5. Our story last leaving us off with Alfred Pennyworth becoming the next Green Lantern. And so while he flies off to go save Damian, Damian's got his own things going on because he has run into an individual that is wearing his father's suit. A man portraying himself as Batman. We soon are going to learn his identity. But even more than that, the Vampire Nation has been keeping a secret. As the flames of war begin to burn even hotter, Green Arrow prepares for an all-out confrontation, believing that humans are still being used as some sort of blood bank. He is hell-bent on discovering this. But what nobody knows is that in the shadows, the Vampire Queen lives. So, make sure you guys have subscribed to the channel, make sure that you like this video, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so as we dive into this issue, we're picking up in New Hope, Pennsylvania. We pick up with Mr. Miracle. Now, Mr. Miracle, by his name alone, should signify that he's gonna have some kind of importance here. What we learn is that him and Barda had a child. Pregnant at the time of her infection of the vampirism, the father being Mr. Miracle. The baby was born what would seem as unnatural means. But the vampires believe that this baby is a prophecy, that this baby will end the war, that this baby will unite vampires and humans together. But while Mr. Miracle tries to hide away with this baby, this is where he runs into the Dark Knight. But we quickly see that Batman doesn't recognize him. But with him running into Batman, this is probably the best thing could have happened for him. He's trying to get away, trying to hide away from everybody with this baby. But as we hop over to Gotham, we pick up with Grodd. We learn very quickly that real blood is just not as easy to come by. Even those high up in the tower, they are still very much using synthetic blood. The hooded individual that has been trying to give them counsel. We quickly learn that Grodd lost his psychic ability when he became a vampire. He may have a mortal life, but he has lost a lot of his abilities that made Grodd Grodd. This is something that he has kept pretty close to the chest, something that many or nobody would even know about. So Grodd has to wonder, how does she know? As she moves past Grodd, she goes into a room with a bed, medical equipment. All of this set up, and what we find is Barbara Gordon. The Vampire Queen lives. The hooded individual coming into Barbara and letting her know that the two of them, they can help one another. That she has access to medicines the doctors could never dream of. The only thing that she seeks in return is Mr. Miracle's infant child. And so the trade-off is medicine for Barbara Gordon, and she gets the child. As we pick up at the headquarters of the Human Council, the Spectre is trying to show John Constantine something, telling him that he must remember that their time grows short. If they are allowed to come, all hope will be lost. But then the Spectre believes maybe he's already too late. The Spectre disappearing and a man walking in the room, telling John that he traveled a great distance to find him. This individual John doesn't know, but this guy has also come seeking this infant child, that the baby can end the war, restore the planet, save all of humanity, believing that this baby is the last hope. In Washington, D.C., this is where we have Batman and Robin. They've been living in the White House. Batman saying that just because the institution crumbled doesn't mean that the building has no value, that there is power in symbols. Taking off the cowl, we learn that this is none other than Ra's al Ghul. Damian Wayne's grandfather has put on the mask of Batman. Damian's not very happy with his grandfather right now. The man that left his mother, his own daughter, to be slaughtered like cattle. The man who only cared about Damian when he thought that he could be used as a weapon. The man who was missing when Damian was killed at the hands of the vampires. He is Ra's al Ghul, and for Damian, he is the man that should have remained a memory. But Ra's al Ghul has bigger plans at play. He believes that they can help each other, hurt the people that took so much from them. The skill and intellect between the two of them, they may not be able to defeat them on their own. They may not be able to destroy all the vampires. But Ra's al Ghul believes that they could lead them. And today is the day that Damian can turn Ra's al Ghul into a vampire, and they can ascend to their throne. Taking us outside the human council, we pick up with Red Tornado, Supergirl, even Lobo's here. Calling all of them here because of the mysterious stranger. After hearing the story about this mysterious child, this vampire child, they believe that whatever it is worth a shot. Having no idea where this child could be, they do have an idea on how they may be able to find it. The plan was that mysterious individual, one of the Wonder Twins, Jonna. This is how they plan to find that child. Picking back up with Damian, he is preparing to turn his grandfather into a vampire. He is trained for this day since birth. He doesn't see Damian as a weapon, not a precious pawn, not a sidekick. Damian is his heir. Damian is his legacy, but he also knows that he is too vulnerable like this. If they're gonna fight this war, he knows that he will lose this war like this. The Lazarus pits are long gone. There is no new immortality to be had. But as he goes to bite him, that's when Alfred shows up. He tells Damian, "Don't you dare bite that man." Damian rushing over and embracing Alfred. He apologizes for not being able to save his mother, that she lived as a warrior. She knew the consequences of the life that she led. But Damian is a little bit confused. He has had the ring since he cut off Hal Jordan's hand to save Bruce Wayne. So Damian has to ask the question, if you've had it all this time, why haven't you used it? This is when we have the opportunity of Ra's al Ghul taking place, trying to turn Damian against him, asking, why didn't you use it? You could have saved his mother, you could have saved everybody. Instead, you chose not to use the ring. That he simply doesn't deserve the ring. He doesn't deserve that kind of power. And even Alfred has to point out, like, you just went from attempting to be turned into a vampire, now you're trying to get my ring in such rapid succession. This quickly turns into a fight. Ra's al Ghul versus Alfred. The two of them begin to duke it out, destroying everything there is around them. But in the midst of them battling, Alfred says, "Hold on, dude." Alfred looks around, and Damian's gone. He's already taken off. As we hop over to Mr. Miracle. Mr. Miracle currently at the hands of Ghostmaker. Not taking him long to find him. Mr. Miracle isn't taking any chances. He was ready for this. Now, Ghostmaker says that I was the only opportunity you had of walking out of this alive. As he tries to get away, he quickly learns that it's already too late. Power Girl, Shazam, Raven, and some of the others, they've caught up to him. They've caught up to Mr. Miracle. The vampires have found him. And while he struggles for his very own survival, we pick up with Green Arrow. As they decide what they're gonna do, we have Damian Wayne who shows up on site. He tells him that, "I know what you've been doing." Damian saying that it was his men that killed the queen, that right now they're on the same side, but Oliver can't see this. The only thing that he sees is a vampire. But Oliver's more concerned on all of these secret farms that Barbara had. Damian swears that he knows nothing of this, that he had heard they switched to entirely synthetic blood, but he doesn't know much else. The real reason that Damian is here is that he led his people into an ambush. The Queen's Guard had slaughtered them. The Wonder Woman killed his mother. He lost everyone, and now he has nowhere left to go. Oliver thankful that he finally has some truth out of Damian, apologizing to him, telling him that he's really sorry, that he was always a little bit of a pain, but he wouldn't wish this life on anybody. This war has taken so much from all of them. Drawing back his arrow, he apologizes to Damian. He says to him to tell yourself that this is a mercy killing if it makes it all easier. As he goes to draw back that arrow and take out Damian, this is where we hop over to issue number 5. picking up exactly where we had left off. He goes to shoot Damian. Black Canary tried to talk some sense into him, but he wasn't listening. And even though he wasn't listening, the others were. That's when Swamp Thing stops the arrow from piercing Damian's face. Oliver tries to say that it doesn't matter that Damian's also killing vampires, but Black Canary says otherwise. She does believe it matters. The truth is, Damian wasn't even that great of a person when he was a person, but she wants to spare him, not because she understands that they're at war or lacks the understanding. Right now, they need every advantage that they can get, and Damian is one of the best advantages on the battlefield. So while they discuss the future of this situation, we pick back up with Mr. Miracle. He tells them that you guys got me. He sets the baby down. He says, just don't hurt my kid. Do whatever it is you're gonna do to me, but leave the child alone. As they begin to beat the living pulp out of Mr. Miracle, they laugh at him. They make fun of him. He was supposed to be able to escape from everything, from anything, but his escapes don't always take the expected form. Sometimes it arrives in the shape of a 250-pound, very angry lady. This is where Barda shows up, and she is pissed. We see Barda start laying down some hate, endangering her child's life. The minute that they took these orders, it was a death sentence for all of them, and Barda is going to be the executioner. So while she knocks some heads, we take off to Gotham. We pick up with John Constantine. He has made his way to the vampire headquarters. Harley Quinn currently chained up. We all know about Harley Quinn. We all know why she's chained up. Hopefully, she plays a part in the coming stories. Stepping out of the shadows, though, we have the cloaked Barbara Gordon, now standing, definitely not looking like the woman that we once knew. But the stories of her death obviously were exaggerated, something that she so chose to put out into the world. It gave them the opportunity to really get ready for a counteroffensive. But what brings John Constantine here is the Miracle Child, or so Barbara thought. But after hearing about this Miracle Child again, John quickly changes the subject to Damian. Now, Barbara kind of brushes this off, thinking John doesn't know about the child, so I'm gonna brush over this completely. John has always been the representative for humans. Though he speaks for all humans, it doesn't mean all humans listen to what he says. But what he is offering is Damian Wayne. That if they remove Damian Wayne from the game, cooler heads can prevail. Even more, they say they have Damian at the gates. John immediately claims this as his feat. But in return for this, John Constantine wants something specific, as we pick up with Swamp Thing and Damian Wayne. Swamp Thing is escorting Damian into the vampire facilities, trying to figure out what Swamp Thing is up to. The truth is, he's tired of the war, or at least that's what he tells them. That he's tired of the war, he's trading Damian Wayne for some land. As things look like they're about to get ugly, this is when Adam shows up, along with all of our heroes going from miniature to regular size. The surprise attack works. They're able to break in. They're gonna find out exactly what are going on with these vampire farms. Now, Swamp Thing knows that there's life inside of this building. This is supposed to be a rescue mission. As they prepare, as they get ready to go in and see whatever horrible things that they might see, we pick up with Barda. At this point, she smashed every one of these mofos into the ground. As Mr. Miracle takes the child and tries to walk away, she says that she searched for months. She's not letting him run again. That the child is a prophecy fulfilled. A child born of two vampires. A thing that is not possible. Barda believes that this child is the future of their race. That it will bring the end of the war with the humans. But Mr. Miracle says maybe, just maybe, she's an adorable little accident. Maybe she's not a prophecy. Maybe she's just a child. Because Mr. Miracle, he's a vampire, but he's also kind of not. Because of who he is, because he's Mr. Miracle, the vampirism didn't set in like it should. But this little girl, she appears to be perfectly normal. The product of two freaks getting wild and forgetting to use protection. He doesn't believe her to be a chosen one or a political tool. As he goes to walk away, Barda puts him into the ground. tells him that you can't keep her from me. As he's getting choked out, that's when Supergirl and all the others show up. They let Barda know that you gotta stop this, that you can't do this. When Supergirl refuses to do so, Barda turns on her, and that's when everybody pretty much jumps Barda, letting her know that we're not trying to take the child from you, we're not trying to hurt you or the child, we're trying to help you. Mr. Miracle takes this opportunity to get out of here. As he makes his getaway, he goes looking for a boat along the coast. But on that coastline, what he didn't know was Aquaman waiting. As we pick back up with Green Arrow, they've made their way inside the facility, but they quickly learn that things aren't going as they thought. This isn't some giant farm filled with hundreds of people. This is a facility with one person, the Flash, aka Wally West. Black Canary wastes absolutely no time breaking him free, getting this mask off of him, trying to figure out what happened to him. They make him generate power. Nightwing said that he was too dangerous, at least alive, but he was too useful to kill, so they took his legs. And as they get ready to take him out of here, Wally says that it's too late for him to just end it, to kill me right here, right now. But Black Canary refuses, saying that they're gonna get him out of here and they are gonna make all of them pay. And she tells Oliver that you were right. They were right about what they need to do. They have to kill all the vampires. As we pick up with Barbara Gordon and John Constantine, they sit here and discuss the deal that they're currently working on. He seeks a favor from the Vampire Kingdom. John Constantine believes that Jason Blood and the little witch boy working for Barbara Gordon did something to his memories. He wants those memories back. But as he prepares to get his memory right, they quickly find out that Damian Wayne has escaped and he is loose in the city. This is not a good look for John Constantine, who said he brought him here. As they peer over the ledge, coming up the streets of Gotham, we have Green Arrow and his team. Flames bursting about, vampires disintegrating into flames. Green Arrow has finally had enough. He has come to wage his war. He has brought it right to the doorsteps of the vampires. And while John Constantine tries to make his getaway, he tries to sneak out the back door. Grodd grabs hold of him, telling them if you guys decide to drink my blood, it's not gonna go good for you. Why don't you go ahead and ask Nightwing how this trick works? And so Barbara saying, as you wish. And Grodd snaps John Constantine's neck and leaves his limp, dead body behind. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. An absolutely fantastic Elseworld story. Another absolute banger from DC versus vampires. As we can see, the tensions are heating up. The war is about to overflow, and it is about to be catastrophic. Still very curious on what this miracle baby means for everything. Humanity appears to still have some kind of hope. Now that they have Wally West back, they might have a speedster in even the smallest capacities if his legs don't grow back. But I don't think we've ever experienced a speedster losing a leg and then us actually seeing the regenerative properties of how that may work. They might not ever grow back. It could be a permanent thing, which means really they would just need to create something mechanical or bionical that would be sustainable using the Speed Force in that capacity. Definitely not the first time that we would have seen something like this. But it's quite interesting that they were using him to power the city. Now that Wally West is gone, that means power is gone. As Green Arrow marches down the streets of Gotham, the ultimate confrontation is just on the horizon. So, let me know what you guys think, let me know your thoughts, let me know your theories. If you want to get caught up on everything that has been going on with this series, go ahead, check out the link in my description, as well as the top of this video. It'll get you completely caught up on everything that has been going on with DC versus vampires. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership. Much like Patreon, having multiple different tiers, from $1 to $50, from loyalty badges to comics every single month. Not only are you helping out the channel tremendously, you are getting tons of perks in the process. Now, if you're unable to do this, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.